Hi, it's Sandy, your rec center dietitian. Today I'm making a recipe I have never made before. It's called salmon with yogurt, spinach, lemon, and capers, and it also has dill in it. And it just sounded like a really great Mediterranean dish to try. So I've started off by adding 2 sliced lemons to my oiled pan, and then I cut up my salmon and put that over top. I have a little bit less salmon than what the recipe calls for, so I'm decreasing all the ingredients a little bit, but depending on how much your package of salmon is, it calls for 1.5 pounds to serve 6 people. I've got more like about 1 pound, so I'm making this recipe to serve 4. So the interesting thing about this is it's kind of like making a bit of a salad and pouring it over top. So I've chopped up some spinach, I've added some garlic, and then to this I'm going to add some capers. So the capers are those little buds of that Mediterranean plant. They're briny, salty, similar to olives, but much smaller, more like the size of a pea. And so I'm adding those in here. And you can add, as many as the recipe calls for. I tend to add a little bit less just because of the amount of salt that the capers contain. But if you're not worried about salt, then certainly go ahead and add as many as you want. I'm putting in about 1/4 cup of olive oil. And then it calls for 2 cups of plain yogurt. I tend to buy the bigger container of yogurt and then just use that up during the week as I'm making dishes with yogurt or cooking with yogurt or even dressings. So it is very versatile and does a lot of things for us. So I'm probably going to not need quite 2 cups of yogurt, but I'm going to put a good amount in here. And then I'm just going to give this a stir, kind of mix that spinach in with that plain yogurt. It's kind of sticking there to my spoon. Kind of reminds me of like a spinach dip or something like that. And then I think I'm going to try to make it just a little bit more spreadable. So I'm going to add a little bit more yogurt. So you can always eyeball it. See what looks right to you. My oil settled here, so I'll add the rest of that oil in there. And then again, getting this just mixed together, trying to incorporate all that spinach in. And then to this, I'm adding a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and chives. You could certainly omit the salt, again, because you do get the salt from the capers that you've added in here too. And there will be a little bit of salt in the yogurt as well. So I'm adding in those spices. And then I'm just going to go ahead and place this over top of my salmon. And you will cover this to bake it. Let's get this on here. Again, this is new to me too, so we'll see how this turns out. It looks really delicious and it smells really good as well. And I'm just going to prep this now and bake it later today. I tend to do that when I have more time. So I'm just going to spread that spinach over top of the salmon there. And you can tell that will kind of melt and bake down there. We're trying just to get that a little evenly spread. And then that bakes in my 350 oven, covered with foil for about 20 minutes, and then uncover and bake it for another 10 to 20 minutes. So probably about 30 to 40 minutes overall. So I'm looking forward to having this for dinner tonight, and I hope you'll try it and enjoy. Thanks.